fix my hair as we always do. And we are just going to have a good stream today. I hope y'all are doing well. As you can see, I still have an issue, but it's okay. We're not going to let it bring us down. We're going to have a good time playing Talishar at the moment, I believe. Otherwise, I will change literally everything we are doing to go play Hollow Knight or something. I don't know. My Xbox controllers in my closet, so I'd have to go open that up. And no one wants to see what I have hiding in there. So I hope everyone here is having a good evening. Happy Friday. It's the end of the work week for some of us, I know. So me, myself specifically, long week. But we're not here to complain about that. We're here to play some Flesh and Blood. We're here to think about what they've released today and consider all of the individual possibilities with that. So let's take a look and see if they have updated the spoiler Super Slam yet. They have. And they have everything, I think. So we're going to start by going through this. No, what are they missing? 239 through 242. That is a good question. I do not know what they are missing. It looks like just some generics. But outside of that, everything else is here. So let's take a look at this. I think it's very interesting, and that is incredibly dark on my end. If I open that up, how does that look on stream? Still dark. What happened? Is it just because of like... I don't know. Does it look dark to anyone else? I don't know if anyone's here at the moment, but if it looks dark, please let me know. I'm not sure what happened. Maybe if I set it back to the defaults? What? No? Maybe it's just the light that's right here so glaring in my eyes that it looks darker to me on the screen than it actually is, and that might just be a me issue. So I find it interesting. Okay, so let's take a look at the reprints. Snag is very good, and I know people are like, oh, but Bonds is gone. And I think Snag's reprint is solely because a lot of this is about buffs, both for Pallades and for Lyeth. But if we look at the wording on Snag, they can't gain from their own effects or effects of attack reaction cards this turn. So actually, I don't think Snag works in that way. I think Snag will prevent the buffs, will not prevent the buffs from it hitting. Unless they're saying that the auras are their own reactions, which would be interesting. I don't know. Maybe they were going to retcon it. It will prevent these. Okay, so these are also fantastic reprints. The mic is way too far away because of work. I think the reprints in the set are way better than they've been in any set before this. I'm super excited about that. I like the fact that we're getting both Felling and a Plow Under reprint. It makes sense to print them both. It would not make sense to print them one at a time because they're kind of two sides of the same coin. If you're playing Felling, you're playing Plow Under, and vice versa. Unless you're running a budget deck, which you just don't have both, which understandable. Gallo is interesting. I like it. It's a good extra card. It's got a pretty strong discard effect. Definitely a 3-of in Gravy Bones. I would have liked an actual weapon for Gravy Bones more. It would have been fun, I think. We have Painful Passage, which is just good in Vincent. Just, I think, overall, just a good card. But the things I'm most excited for currently are obviously the Hunter or Hunted. Just seems fun to play with. I don't think it's a good card. I do like this new art. I do want this new art for no other reason than I think it's just the best looking Flick Knives. As much as I love the older Flick Knives, you know, this one just looks so nice. And you can get it in extended art, which is not an extended art as in a full art, but an extended art as foil, and then the text is see-through. The golden set looks beautiful in Marvel format. Just a great set of cards. Beautiful. If you have all of those, you're playing a nice deck. Those Marvels are going to be nice. New Horizon, similar thing to Flick Knives. I'm actually not sure if I like this more or less. It is a good than the original art. It looks nice, but I don't know. I guess this is just meant to be more Arya, and this is more Solana. So it could work, you know. Who's to say? Um, but I find it interesting that the tiara, the boots, the all four pieces are in the expansion slot. Um, it's Whiskey Friday, so I hope everyone has a good glass. Unless they're saying that those are just in like a cold foil treatment in the expansion, in like the back two slots. Kind of like if when we would go back to High Seas, we could see like the other Necromancer allies in the back as the Marvel treatment. So maybe there's Marvel treatments for these cards. Um, Now, the one thing I really wish we had is a full release of the Gem Pack 3 because that looks insane. Gem Pack 3 looks awesome, man. I wish I had the full list of that at the moment, but we do not yet. Okay, I know everyone is claiming how good this card is, and I admit it is good. I think everyone might be overreacting a little bit because it requires you to assume that your opponent has a defense reactions, which, if we're going to be honest, is if you're playing into Florian, yeah, you're good. But if you're playing into like any other deck, they're running 6 defense reactions, and you have to figure out when your opponent's going to play them. If you're wrong about that, then this is just a pitch 3, no effect. If you're right, yeah, you're gaining value, but that's if you're right. I think you're relatively safe from this. I don't think it's the end-all be-all. I do think it's just nice to have. I don't think it's as strong as people are saying. I think it's in a nice niche area where in some decks, yes, it will be good. Against some decks, it will be good. But then that's also just a big if. Let's see. I actually haven't gotten to look at any of the armor. Toughness and a vigor token. This gets +2. Okay. Pretty good. So that's just, and let me guess, these are all, yeah, so it's just the same cycle from the first time we visited the Deathmatch Arena. Heavy hitters, where if you have 2 tokens, oh, not all of them. This one is different, but this is also base Revered, not base Revered Guardian. So, and then I'm assuming there's one for Reviled Guardian, and there's one for Reviled Brute, and then there's 2 for Reviled Heroes. This card's very fun. I like this. I also like the effect, like they were saying on stream. I watched a good 80% of the stream today. I did not see the final game. I'm going to have to go back where it was the CC. I got pulled into a meeting at work, and I had to deal with some stuff, but I will definitely be going back to watch it. Oh, I just saw this. I love this. Oh my gosh, I think this is the coolest art they've done. Can I get a playmat of this? Holy moly. Oh, I can't wait to see what those look like all lined up. Those are beautiful. That is awesome. What else did I see? That's fun. It's a good Revered Majestic. Tough Nuts Majestic is very interesting. Pretty fun. What does he allow you to get? Yeah, you can get crowd. You can get cheered on instant speed, so that could be good. Once again, we get the cards that only see play in limited. I'm a little afraid of those. Not so much for the sake of limited, but for the sake of... The issue with those cards is when you have a new subclass or even a new class, when you put so many of those in, it really limits your CC options. So, like, this is just taking a Revered card out from your deck, for the most part. Because you're not going to always be running into Reviled Heroes. But it only looks like they have toned that down a little bit. I don't see it, well, a super kind of sucks. You shouldn't be making this in anything more than rare. That's the other thing. I get you gotta have your bombs. Burst, how's it going, buddy? Burst, have you seen this? I want this as a playmat so bad, man. Oh my god. Look at this. Oh, it's absolutely gorgeous. This is peak art. This is everything I've ever wanted. This is the best art I've ever seen, man. I want to play him out of this so bad. It's so gorgeous. Thomas did an amazing job on that. That's so cool. I'm going to get all three of those together. I want a print of it. And I want it on like a wall or something, and like in like a frame or something, because that is gorgeous. What else have we got? So then we get here. The Laughing Knee Slappers, just the same. So yeah, the base revealed or filed and revered. Oh, I have no idea, man. I can't wait. I know that we're done with the sealed events because the next ones are mostly drafts, I think. But I'm going to have to think long and hard. The Cheater's Charm play was amazing. If you haven't seen the stream, it was, I believe it was Rachel versus someone else. At least you can't attack with the auras. Not directly. But I do like the moving the counters around to keep things longer. So, yeah, it is definitely Enigma in that way. But the way that this worked in that game was insane. And they're good. But I just wish the Marvels were not only in the world premiere. Because those Marvels are gorgeous. This is definitely one of the strongest ones. This one's definitely nice. I also really, really like Pallades' charm. It's the charms, you know. It's the Esper charms from Magic. It's the choose any number is what gets me. Is that you can pick all three and they cost 0. So crazy. Yeah, I'm definitely going to be giving her. Here's what I'm most excited for. I can't wait till my opponent has more than one confidence token, so I can quote the ancestor and just tell them straight to their face that overconfidence is a slow and flimsy killer. And if you don't get that reference, I'm sorry. But Darkest Dungeon is one of the best games ever made. There's one more thing I really like. Where is it? Was she was in a few cards. There's a hero that's in a few cards, but doesn't have a hero card yet from this set. And it's the girl with a half-plate mask. We'll go over the legendaries in a second, but just for now, they are both arms, and that's hilarious because LSS knew exactly that they were going to piss everyone off by doing that. Where's the Warmongers? It's in here. This lady. I want this lady as a hero. Yeah, Tough Nut was cool. Tough Nut was awesome. The final game between the two Tough Nuts was so much fun to watch, and everyone just chanting 3 in chat because, you know, he loves the number 3. We're gonna get to that in a second. I think she looks fun. I am very sad I will most likely never get my hands on her as a card, but it beautiful card. Stupid expensive card, I can already tell, just like Taylor was. But I don't know if you heard me saying this. I do not think this is as good as everyone is like. Because I don't do cosplay, and I'm not going to spend like $500 on her. As much as I would love to cosplay Arachne Huntsman, and I mean, I also don't go out to a lot of events, so I'm one of those guys who likes to sit by. Maybe one day, yeah, it is. It's for cosplay. It's the cosplay award, just like how Taylor was. That's why it's all focused on equipping and unequipping armor. Yeah, I know. But you've got to remember, the only base Necromancer card that we have at the moment, like here, let's go ahead and see, because she should be up now. So if we go to decks, we go to create a deck. Let's go to UPF. Yeah, exactly. Is she here yet? Probably not. I forget what her name is, but you would see her card because it's relatively. Yeah, I don't. Let's take a look. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's literally just the chest and one other piece of equipment. Like, there's no base Necromancer cards yet. Yeah, the head, that stone. So it makes sense that, well, there's 3 cards, I guess, because there's both chests in the headpiece. I could have sworn that these were, but it actually makes sense because it's watered grave, so that's totally fine. What's up? Yes. Okay. So this is what I wanted to get into next. The reprints are amazing. I already talked about them earlier. I do have one. I have a few major quips about them. Um, the first one is the fact that we're only getting 2 pieces of equipment, legendary equipment in this set. There's not a reviled or revered specific piece of legendary equipment that I've seen. I've just seen 1 Brute Arms and 1 Guardian Arms, and that I do not like. Unless I'm missing something down here in the generic pool that hasn't been uploaded. No, I don't think you need this Fabled. I do not, because it requires a few things. I'll get back into that in a second. But let me finish this topic about the legendaries. The Flick Knives reprint is very nice, and the New Horizons reprint is very nice. I do not like the fact that Warmonger's Diplomacy is reprinted at Legendary when Snag is reprinted at Majestic. It shows that they can reprint these Majestic cards at the same level rate that they were printed at the first time. Why? I don't know why they're upscaling these. Especially Warmonger's Diplomacy. Is it because it's like, it's not just generic stables. Okay, so we'll talk about the Fabled right now. But real fast, Plow Under, Following the Crown is a reprint we needed super bad, just because of how rare they were in Rosetta and how expensive they are, and that is fantastic, and I love that. Okay, that is the entire reprint except for Gem Pack 3, which we can get into later. I don't think this card is very good. I think, at best, this is a card that makes your opponent change what they are planning on doing. But, at worst, this is a pitch 3. This is a very situational card, which requires your opponent to have one of, let's be generous, 9 D-Reacts in their deck. It needs your opponent to have a D-React. There are scenarios where that is useful, such as against New Florian, who plays like 16 D-Reacts. But in your average deck, we're talking... Okay, I'm going to think about it, but let me finish with my idea. We're talking about the one turn you get this. You need them to have at least 1 D-React, because that's 2 cards out of their hand. And not be able to pivot to just block with, let's say, 2 cards and then arsenal the D-React, because they can save it for the turn where you won't have this. Or, better, is your opponent has 2 D-Reacts in the hand. And that means you just pitch one of the D-Reacts to play the other. In things that are reaction-based heavy, yes, this could be good. But I still think it's very iffy. Yeah, I mean, in Dory, that makes sense, but it is a 1 of in 60. I personally, I mean, as an assassin player who also runs a lot of reactions, I'm not afraid of my opponent's D-Reacts because I have ways to go over them. I can shred them. Yeah, I mean, okay, I don't think you need it. I think it's good. I just don't think it's... People are claiming it's like on the same levels as Riches of Tropeldani, and I don't think it is. I think it's good. It's definitely one of the better... fables that they've printed, but I would not put this above Riches or put this event above I would put this about at the same level as Heart. It's very situational. It's not always going to trigger. And so when you get it early, or when you get it when you don't need it, it is just a pitch 3. And that's, I've been thinking about it, and that's just my opinion. And if people disagree with me, that's totally fine. I'm allowed to be wrong, and, you know, in a few weeks, we will know for sure how wrong I am. I am in no way a professional at this game. This is a hobby of mine. Yeah, I mean, Eye of Ophidios just pitch automatically look at the top two cards of your deck, and Richie's just pitch get. I mean, in Victor, it's Pot of Greed, but like in other decks, it's just a good yellow. Uh, I mean, I've always loved Schism in Blood Red Pox. Not Blood Red Pox. What's the other one? Plague Hive. But like, if Plague Hive was blue, it would be one of the best cards ever printed. But it's yellow. Yeah, I need to get a Riches. It's true. I just want to trade for it because I don't want to spend $300 on a single card that I might use once. But, you know, not once in one deck, obviously, is what I mean, because I'm going to play a lot of Victor. I took these out of my personal deck the other day, and it hurt me. It really hurt me. Seeing those go away to the wayside, it was sad. I cried real manly tears. You should have seen. I should have done it on stream. It would have been symbolic. Well, what are you gonna play it in, Burst? I mean, I guess Pirate Lord, Gravy Bones. Wow, I ripped on his name for about 3 months, and then that's my issue. I've got a lot of trade, but most people have everything what they need. Yeah. This guy's super cool. I would like to see him. I do like the amount of dwarves we are seeing, and I'm really hoping we get a set like Visit Anvilheim or something like that, or retake Anvilheim. That would be awesome. Listen, I've always been a proponent to get more non-human characters in the game. I get that people normally represent human characters because that's who they see themselves are, but more non-human characters are what I like the most. So, also, this has Victor in it. Why is this reviled? Search your deck for a card, then put it on top. This card would be so good in Victor. It would, and it's all the flavor text. Why is this reviled? It should have just been Guardian. Or do what I said, which I'm very sad we didn't get. Make it a gold main specialization. Yeah. Yeah, Marlin is another good deck. The new Marlin card looks awesome. I love that. The ability to trigger Go Fish twice. My question is, do you trigger them both on the stack so that way your opponent can't reveal the same card twice? Or do you say one and Go Fish, second Go Fish? Because if they go both on the stack, then this is good even if you don't trigger Harpoon. But if you trigger Harpoon, it's just strong. And then I'm almost positive these are going to be in Marvel treatment. The more I'm thinking about it, these are definitely the Marvel treatment cards. So we know we got these 4. We're going to get these 4. I watched Tough Nut block 8 with 1 card. It's insane. I think I saw that. It was 4, 3. No, that was probably 6. It was probably 6. It was the turn where he had like 4 tokens. Fun card. Let us play with legendaries again in draft. Let us have some fun with that. But okay, so I was. Listen, OG Prior. I've always been a fan of saying that now that Briar is an LL only, let us un-errata Briar. That would be funny. Or give us a no holds bar thing. Now that LL is super heavily redacted, I guess is what you would call it. Give us a no holds bar LL where things are as they are written. That would be crazy. Or in UPF, just make her the same old, same old. Okay, so this art is just great. I love this art. Yeah, how many Embodiment of Earth tokens do you have? 6? Okay, that seems fair. So I think this card is fantastic. The art, I mean specifically, I like it. I like that it definitely looks like a ninja, but also has the Arachne mask. So can I just say how great it would be for them to give us a young hero who is Assassin Ninja? and this can be her. You know, like come on, we're so close. But that's a nice card. We are just going to go ahead and remove these Blanches and put back in because I was messing around with this, and I was playing against my friend who's a Prism, and it's just like I think I'd rather have the Assassin card. So here's what we are currently working with. It is. I think they probably decided to do that when they decided they were printing Marlin. And it's also an expensive card. So, like, Flick Knives definitely needed it because it was sitting around 120. And, I mean, let's go to TCG Player, right? I know it's not the most best thing to use, but... I mean, it's still an expensive cold foil. Like, it's been sitting above 150 for a while, so I get why they're reprinting it. Maybe, and then maybe they have something down the line. Who knows? Maybe with the Riptide card, maybe it's going to go through the roof. I'm not going to say, like... I actually traded my CF for that a long time ago, so I'm happy to get a new one. But my thing is, I don't know which version I like more. I do like this one, but I also really like the Arya one as well. I like that this one is definitely in the Golden Plains of Solana. It's definitely like a Solanian Ranger. I like that, but I also really like the old one as well. I think they're both great. But, I mean, it is a good policy to start doing it this way anyway, and if our sacrifice for getting the reprints we are getting in the set is to get a less than perfect legendary reprint, I'm okay with that. I'm very happy with that. So it may not be the best, but I also don't think it's the worst, and it's definitely a good way to move forward. And if we see more reprints like this, maybe not to this extent. Like I said, I don't like... Oh, the Dory card is amazing. I don't like the fact that we are only getting 2 legendaries for the new heroes here. But maybe they're saying, like, hey, we already got so many good legendaries, let's start reprinting them. But I would like, you know, I always think seeing a new legendary is always fun. But I'm happy seeing new Majestics as well. And if these are Marvels, I'm going to need these. I'm also, apparently, I guess I'm playing Pallades, and I guess I'm going to need 3 Marvel Thespian Charms. So if you have those, hit me up. Or if you are currently in Montreal, hit me up. The snag is good, but with... I mean, so, Ashy Burst, you might be able to answer this. If I'm playing Pallades and I give something +5 at the start of the turn, does the snag remove it? By auras. Does the snag remove the aura buffs? Okay, so then it still has a point, you know. If either of the Guardian characters becomes strong, then it's good. I think the snag is not useless, it's just not nearly as good. And let me just say it this way, we saw in Limited that a Pallades said 19 damage on 1 turn. That's not nothing. Snag specifically says that attack action cards can't gain attack from their own effects, meaning the card itself, or effects of attack reactions. And auras are not their card's effect or an attack reaction. So I don't think it does. But maybe they're eroding it so that way it does. Because that's the only reason I would see it fit in. Sorry, it's very dry here. And then bait's just fun. Alright, we're going to stop distracting from not playing the game, and we're going to play a few rounds of the game, I think. There's got to be rules text somewhere for this. Is there, like, a... I'd have to probably go, like, look at Flesh and Blood, like, snag things. Fantastic. Abby, let us have fun. Against Abby, send a message. Good luck, have fun. We are going to start with the Widow Veil Respirator. And then we are going to take out, we want to play as many blues and the wave effects as possible. So let's put in these 3 cards. And then let us take out, where are they? Right here. Cut from the same cloth. We'll find out. It's going to be a very common question very early on. I'll talk to some people that I know who are judges and tomorrow, and then I will hopefully have an answer for you. We'll go dagger. Oh, also I need changes to the action songs. I have specifically made a playlist just for action songs, so that way we don't get a haunting rendition. Okay, so that's totally fine. Pick up the point. Alright, let's focus in on the game. We're here, we're done talking about the base set. We're excited for it, it looks fun. I'm excited. Okay, they will block the full amount. As much as you have the same name as me, you are both banned and deleted. Hate to see someone with the same name as Zach fall to such a evil job. How dare they? How dare they, I say. Alright, let's see what we can get here. Because if they try and just block 3, I can flick the other knife to get that extra point of damage away by removing the wave effect with a flick knife, which sucks because it does put me down 1 knife, but this deck has a lot more retrieve effects than it did previously, even though I've already used 1 of them. Okay, so they're going for 4 block. So there's no reason for me to flick a knife here. Listen, I'm getting most of the cards out of their hand, and for that... Oh, the Gravy Ally looks fun. Just a really... I like being able to, like, you know... Yeah, exactly. I like... the one thing I like about Huntsman is switching out the different daggers for unique daggers depending on the situation. So you are going to come in for 3 and 7. We could do... It's going to have go again, right? And then banish the top card of your deck on hit. You could go for the Vexing Quill hand turn here. I don't think that's right. That's threatening 10. Give me 1 second. I am thinking. Please bear with me. We are looking at 0s across the board. And then we are also going to turn off Mask. And then here I'm looking at Dagger. So this is going to be 8, which sucks. And how to go for you. If my Tunic was up, I would be willing to block with a card here, but my Tunic is not up. And for them to have a valid move, unless the top card is a Wonder, is a Magic card, which it's not. I think I'm they're doing the Flail, which of course they're doing. And then this is on hit, right? So give them 1 Rune Chant. Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. What if I don't want to give them a Rune Chant? Then I think the right move is block here for 1. Dagger. What is this? Yeah, we're We're going to go like this. We've changed our plan a teeny tiny bit. Yeah, daggers are strong, man. I love daggers. I own a cold foil version of almost every dagger. One side. I don't own a cold foil version of both sides of every dagger yet. As cool as that would be. Interesting. Sure. I'm okay with losing a codex there if it means getting Face Purgatory from you. Because I have another fun card coming up here. I will take an early Face Purgatory. And then I require 4 block or I rip a card from your hand. Of course, you could just declare no blocks, which is probably the right move here. Expect 4 damage, declare no blocks. We'll flick the dagger at you. And then you will take 4 damage, and you will banish a card from your hand. Okay, we got a second blood deck card, and we got you down to 32. And then we'll pass. Next turn I'm up to 3 tunics. Okay. Fantastic. You take 2 blood. Oh, you're going for the vexing. So that's going to come in for 7. So that means I can do 0. Arsenal, the pick up the point. No, Arsenal, the up sticks and run to grab the second dagger back. But I don't have a good. I could do. That's fine. We'll just figure out what we've got here. Which at this point, why does that rune chant not want to go away? Okay, so we're down to 22, which gives them a 10 life lead, but they have already broken their vexings. This doesn't have go again, and they have no cards in hand. They have a Malefic on the board, but it's yellow, and I've already had them blocked with one of their reds. So here we're just going to do Tunic Tick. Pick up the point. Retrieve the dagger. Equip the dagger. Come in for 3. Get that hit. Reduce to rune chant for 3. Creating a second rune chant. Wait, what happened? Undid. All good. All good. It's okay. No problem. Then we're going to do leave no witnesses. And then depending if, yeah. I was like, wait, what? Fantastic. They're going to take it. We're going to let them go ahead and reduce to root chant for red. We have the up sticks and run in hand, so we're going to flick the knife to mark them. Fantastic. So they are now marked. And then we can move to Arsenal. And we've got a decent Arsenal. Not the... Okay, here we go. They're going for a wide turn here. So they're at 3 rune chants. So, looking at my hand, we've got 5 overpower. I don't have a good block hand here, so we are just going to take the rune chants here. You will get 1, so unless this is a rune chant generator, I'm not too afraid of the on-hit effect here. But I am going to block with a CNC to preserve life. Fantastic. Then we're going to let them pass, see if they have a rune chant generator. They have the whip. We are going to say no blocks to the rune chant. We are not going to let you get that from the whip. Gonna move to that. And then we are going to get my turn, and we're going to hope that I can pull something out. Orb Weaver Spinneret, discarding Shred. Going in for a Graphene Calycera. Up 6 and run. Kiss of Death. Let's get those lives to about even. Just flick the Calycera on your face for 1 damage. Funeral Moon, to get that rune chant, puts you down to 2-card hand, which means that your next turn is probably 2, and then reduce to rune chant. Wow, okay, yeah, they had 2 reduced to rune chants. Crazy. Did not see that one coming. Arsenal that. You've got 3 rune chants at Deathly Wail. So then we've got 3, 4, 5. I wish I had a D-react. I do not. So we are going to do 5, 6, which I think is probably the right move here. Defense reaction. Full block the Deathly Wail. Prevent any rune chant generation. Probably smarter to send Mark the Black Widow flubbing a Flick Knives activation to see if I can just get something out of the hand for a block. And then, do you want to give that Dyadic? Yeah, we're just going to let that hit for 3. Arsenal that. So we've got 6 block here, which I can then Kiss of Death into a Flick Knife activation, into Dagger, Kiss of Death, Flick Knives activation, down 1 resource. So they have 1 and 4. We'll take the 1, and then do we want to take the 4? I want to block with this without a doubt, but do I have another option here to gain the resource? If I had a way to make my dagger cost 1 less, I'd be super happy. I think we just block with CNC and take the 1. And then if you want to Spellbound Creepers, you totally can. You're not going to, so I read that correctly. And then you're going to call, which sucks, but it's not the worst thing ever. Get rid of the Orb Weaver Spinneret from my hand. And then Raw casting 4 damage. Okay. Wow. Interesting. It wasn't letting me press the button. And then what are you going to do next? Because you got the go again from the initial Eloquence token, of course. And there's no reason to not take this because I lost life this turn. Let's go ahead and start by sending out. We could do Kiss of Death, Flick Knife, but then I have to lose the Shred. What is the right move here? Keep one. Don't have an arsenal. I don't have a good use for one resource. That is one extra damage, though, and a mark, so we're going to go for that move. Because then if you accept the mark, and the Kiss of Death hits without needing the Flick Knives trigger, then I get native go again, which is good. Okay. Flick Knives. And activate starting point. There we go. Codex of Frailty. Choosing not Kiss of Death, but a Leave No Witnesses. I mean, I guess I could have also... I would have needed the Shred to have hit. Yep. Yep. Okay. What am I getting? D-React. No. Arsenal. Deathly Whale. They're going for... That's a good Arsenal target. Cole. Phantom Wrath. Coming in for 2 and then 6. Not preventing the rune chance, which means you're going to call out a scar tissue from my hand, which is fine. So do I want to just go, hey, take the 6, go down to 2, present a lot of damage? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... I had 2 knives, that'd be better. But that puts you in Flick Knife range for the next turn. If only I could mark you. That sucks. Okay, go ahead and call me. Yep. And we get the call. Discard a scar tissue, go down to 2 life. Yeah, I do. I mean, I have Rune Chant. Oh yeah, they're gonna take that, aren't they? There we go. D-React? We did it! Good game. I didn't need that 2-turn clock. I needed the 1 turn to go for lethal. That's all we needed. We just needed the 1 turn. Codex of Inertia is a weird card, and I'm wondering what decks I use it into, and I don't think it's this one. Yeah, I mean, hold on. Can I take a look at something? So we did 1, 2... So there was 1... D-React left in the deck. So that was relatively safe. But it was a good game. Yeah, that is true. I mean, a 2-turn clock does suck, and it does put me down to where I have to essentially just be daggering them every turn. But at the same time, at least that turn, I was going to either get... You see, that was 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So, yeah, I would have gotten them down to at least 1 if they had to D-React. So when they decided not to block, I was sitting very happy. If they had to D-React but then I shouldn't have left because I don't remember if they had a Rune Chant up or not. Because if they didn't have a Rune Chant up, that would have been a 3-card hand to prevent the death there. And then they would have just had the 1 card left if they had no Rune Chants. No, they had definitely... don't think they did have Ruin Chance. But either way, yeah, they definitely didn't. But they would have the next turn, but they wouldn't have that turn. So they would have needed a good card to banish. So I think I was doing pretty fine there. I'm happy with that win. I'm very happy with that win, and we're going to move on to the next game. The game was cutting it close, though. I probably made a bunch of mistakes there, including what I brought into the list. No, and I know you were just stating facts first, and I appreciate it. Oh, hello. Good luck and have fun, my friend. Interesting. Well, you are going to be going after my deck, so we're going to go bad deck. Okay, what have I got here? Definitely not using that here. Let's go ahead and come in at you for a measly 1. That question might be answered today, my friend. No reason to flick the knife. I'll gladly lose a Talishar trigger. D-react? Shelter from the storm. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just send a Kiss of Death for 6. Okay. So they're blocking 6. They're losing 2 from that. I will arsenal that. And we will let them go ahead. See what they got. This is block, pitch, dagger swing, pitch, arsenal. Okay, cool. Let's see what they've got. The only thing I'm afraid of right now are things that would... Okay, so Spider's Bite. This affects attack action cards, and I wasn't planning on blocking with an attack action card. I should have been planning to block with an attack action card. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Send that, threatening the card from hand. Damn. Okay. No pummel. Come in for 3. Let's see another shelter from the storm here. Perfect. We got 4 block. Don't need to flick a knife. Cool. You're good, buddy. Okay, what have I got here? We need this to hit, or we need to flick it. And then we got everything we need. Okay, we're sitting pretty. We have a path. We're gonna swap out the surgical extraction for the leave no witnesses. We're just gonna, unless you got another CNC, which would be amazing, my friend. Okay, annihilate the armed, coming in for 5, but my turn is going to be 1, 2, possibly 3 modes of disruption. So go ahead, we'll let you go ahead and try and get the top card of my deck. What are you getting? Inertia trap. Dang it. Okay, so you're playing Leave No Witnesses. I forget what your front pumps are. Well, I know what your front pumps are. I'm trying to remember what your... So if I lose this, my turn becomes this into this dagger, and I don't want to do that. Is it still worth it to do... I could block 5 here. That is true. Well, I would be blocking 4 exactly because I've got this on me. So maybe I can do... I think we go with the original plan. There we go. Go ahead. Who do I turn it to? Watch me turn into, yeah. Okay, what you got for me? 0 pitch, possible +3? Nope, no +3. Okay. Let's come in for my dagger for 1. And they have no silver, so I'm okay with that. The new card is yet to be in the game, so we're gonna mark you. We're then going to do a persuasive prognosis for just a 1. What do we say, Burst? All right. So that is going to push it up. Never just 1. You are right. However, in this scenario, I don't like that you're trying to get me to use that. So instead, I'm going to flick starting point, give it go again, let the damage step resolve, use Faendal's Tunic to come in for a surgical. And surgical is going to hit. Nope, you're going to stink below it because of course. And I don't have any natural buffs to surgical. So I will just move to the end of my turn. Got a lot of cards out of your hand. Move to Arsenal. And you are going to banish the top X cards, and you are looking for silver. I think we are going to try to prevent some of that, so that way it's not just ripping half my deck apart. Cut to the chase. So, still going to rip half my deck apart. Alright, let's see if you get a yellow. You don't, because I don't run yellows. Then we are going to see a persuasive prognosis coming in through 1. Sorry, 2, because you're marked. Give it that +3, go again. D-react? If it's a D-react from Arsenal, that's hilarious. Okay, fantastic. So what color am I getting off the top of your deck? It is a blue. And you had a blue in hand. Sweet. What did I get? Persuasive. Art, and then we are coming in for 6. Were there other cards in your hand? Looking for scrap and Sigil of Solace. So, yeah, that's gonna hit. Sigil of Solace from Arsenal. Okay, what have I got here? So they've got a Looking for Scrap, which can currently not come in for maximum. So they are going to do pass. I am going to do... Oh. Must put a card in their arsenal that they were not a fan of. I wish this was up at the moment. But I can always cut from the same cloth, trying to mark them for Mark of the Black Widow. They are marked because they had the D-React CNC. So then we are going to do Mark of the Black Widow for 4. Because if I can get one more card out of the hand, their next turn is most likely just CNC for 6. Perfect. We'll resolve those as they resolve. And so they're doing a CNC for 6 or whatever's in their arsenal, and I will block the CNC. They're going to do that for 4, coming in for 5. So then we'll go, hey, no blocks. D-React. And then I will probably send a big dagger into a surgical, probably is right. Just cut from the same cloth. That's fine. No reactions is good. They do have a shelter from the storm. Well, hold on a second. Actually, we are then going to use Tunic, and we are going to come in for a surgical for 4 because we have the shred. But now they know we have the shred. So I'm assuming that they will just go, hey, here's this. And then, yep, shelter from the storm. Cool. And I will refuse the shred trigger. And then arsenal the shred. Pretty good hand. Eradicate for 4, and their last card in their hand was... Ooh. Trouble. I'm pretty sure it was a surgical. And we have seen 2 codices. I doubt that they're going to be stacked in the way that I don't want them to be stacked, and for that... accept it. We'll take the bill. Alright, we paid our bill off. We're going to do cut from the same cloth. You are marked. Dagger you. It is true that they can just go, hey, no reactions. What do they have, though? Okay, what you got? Oh, that's less than perfect, because it looks like they're just going to say, hey, keep that shred in your arsenal, I'm not blocking anymore. I run 5 yellows. Okay, you're right, Burst. You're right. No blocks. It's going to be a Blood Rocks token. So this will be +3. Dagger, dagger, dagger. Shred on any blocks. We will give you the Codex of Inertia. Actually, nope. I don't want to do that. We won't give you anything. I'm going to discard the Codex of Inertia to Orb Weaver. And And then you can give me your Bloodrock Pox, which is what I'll assume you'll give me. Oh, a Frailty. Yeah. We'll start with 3. Then we'll come in for... Well, it doesn't have a source of go again, which does suck. So we're just going to try and get that out of my hand. So coming for 0. Kiss of Death. I guess the right move would have been to... No, because Talishar would have only gone... Yeah, so... Shred it. And then you'll sink below, which is fine. I do not have a source of go again. Alright, what have I got here? Nothing great, unfortunately. Well, nothing bad. No blocks. So, yep. Cool. You got double just in it? Because that'd be funny. Interesting deck list. I should have blocked with Command and Conquer, but I wasn't thinking. Okay, so we are then going to do Savor Bloodshed, Orb Weaver. No, wait, we can do. Oh, yeah, we have it. Orb Weaver Spinneret, Savor Bloodshed, Dagger U for 8. Flick the Hunter's Clave at you, give it +3, come in. Fantastic. Let's see what we get off the top. Not a bad card, not the card I wanted. Codex of Frailty that away to get a Leave No Witnesses. That's totally fine. Come in for a Leave No Witnesses for 4. I was wondering when I was going to start seeing the cards I needed. Okay, fantastic. We're getting your Flick Knives. I will gladly take your Flick Knives. Put that in the arsenal. A 0-cost Codex of Frailty from Arsenal. There we go. What are you getting? Well, I wonder. Oh, costs 1. So Death Touch does indeed cost 1, but it only comes in for 5. Ponder Pops. You get to Arsenal. We're going to do Pick Up the Point. Yes, I will retrieve to equip Dagger. And that's... Oh, would you look at that? There's 2 floating over there in the corner. I wonder if I have a card that costs 2 in my banish, in my graveyard. Why? If I look in my graveyard, it sure doesn't look like I do. That is fine. I was being cocky. Let's go for Hand Hate. Whoops, I should have looked at my graveyard before I did that. Did he banish? He banished 2 of them. Okay. Okay, what do I get off the top of my deck? That's fine. That's actually better than fine, obviously. But... Alright, what you got for me? Hopefully nothing too much. Leave no witnesses. Nothing too much, and he decides... Leave no witnesses is their answer, which is probably right. Let me guess. +3? No. Okay, so we are going to do... Wait, hold on. Cancel. Savor bloodshed starting. Come in for 5. Yeah, no, it's not. I made multi-mistakes. A plethora, in fact. Okay, so that looks like it's going to hit unless you got a D-react for me. You do. And then I am going to come in for just 3. I will flick a Talishar at you for future. Oh! Can't do that. I mean, you can. And then we are going to do a leave no witnesses for 3 technically. So give me that last card in your hand. Yep. Okay. There we go. And then we will arsenal our defense reaction, which is fine. We will then do savor bloodshed to assure that this hits. Come in for 5. We won't buff it unless they fully block it out. Because I'd rather shred the Mark of the Black Widow to assure that it hits. We'll flick the knife to draw a card. Maybe we'll get something good. I have to Tarantula Toxin. I was like, I guess go again, right? No, it only has go again if it hits. Fantastic. And then we'll just come in for 1 because this is going to be a nail biter. So I lost 2 pick up the points, but I still have a bunch of up sticks and runs, right? I have 1 up stick and run or 1 up pick up the point. I forget which one it is. We'll see what I get. Neither. This is fine because I've got this, so when you send an attack at me, I'll sink below it. I don't want that to hit. And I don't have a dagger anymore, and I'm only going to get 1 more dagger this game. So let's go ahead and go like that and sinking that. Perfect. Then we are going to start by coming in for a Kiss of Death for 3, 6. If they block, that's 9. We could also send Surgical Extraction. I wish I had daggers. Let's see how many reactions I think I have. How many D-reacts do I have left? Tarantula Toxin for both sides of the card. Arsenal the Surgical. Cool. Block it out for 6. Give it +3 and go again. So it's going to deal 1. You'll have 2 floating. Mask of Perdition, banishing the top 2 cards of my deck, hoping for that 2 silver, which you got. And then already dead. If I had one more life. And that's as good as game can be. I got hit by a version of me. This is just honestly Tunic and one card from hand and you kill me. Oh, okay, de-react. Yep. Yep. Well, that stinks. Yeah, re-equip your armor. Yeah, we'll take the one. We'll take the one. And then we'll take the one. Or yeah, I guess the two. I did get hit by 2 daggers. Good game. I thought I was gonna recover there for a second. The issue was didn't bring in enough cards, it seems. I did do a good job of preventing him from successfully getting a lot of silver until the end when I just couldn't do it anymore. But, hey, he's going to be fun as hell to play, okay? I'm just going to blame it on the fact that he's a good hero and everyone's been looking down on him for so long. But he's... Yep, Huntsman is the better assassin without a shadow of a doubt. Cheers to the Huntsman. And happy Friday, Burst. I hope you're having a good Friday. I should have brought in more cards. I should have brought in more cards. And everyone watching on YouTube or on Twitch who's being quiet, I hope that you're having a great Friday as well. Okay, let's try again. Yeah, Mario. Okay, yeah, okay. No, well, listen, I love Mario for one reason and one reason only. Mario is a functional Arachne. If Huntsman becomes a functional Arachne, yes, I have. Yes, I have, and it was fun. It is nice. But if Huntsman becomes a functional Arachne... Now, I know, why aren't I playing Slippy? Slippy is functional. I don't know. I don't have a good answer for that. Maybe I don't like the Slippy card as much. It's cool. I don't like the art on the card, and maybe that's it. I like the fact that Mario can swap. I wish that that going to the Brood allowed me to change into Slippy or Huntsman. I know it would be, well, Slippy might be good, but the Huntsman would not. But it would be fun. Now, I know that if I play Huntsman, I'm able to change into every hero if I wear the right mask, but you never do. That's not a valid or recommended playstyle. You definitely want the Mask of Perdition. Good card around. Just overall a better card than... Hold on, I'm going to try... Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I'm honestly going to stay with Mario. Mario's just fun. I like being able to change heroes. I like the sneaky reaction steps. I will say I like the flavor text of Contract more than I like the flavor text of Stealth. That being said, Stealth is just stronger. I get that. Contract's good, but just I wish that they made a piece of Huntsman specific equipment. I don't know how they would do that. They would have to, like, say either non-chaos assassin or Arachne Huntsman specialization, which they have not done. that gives contract the word stealth. But that would be so powerful that it would be busted. It would be so busted. If we had something like that, that would be LL worthy, without a doubt. However, if Huntsman ever LLs. Oh, let's go back. Send a message. Good luck. Have fun. I did not hear the ding dong. We'll put those in, and we will take out. We don't want to take out those. We don't want to take out those. Honestly, I kind of don't know what to take out. I guess to the points. Okay. Okay. You got me marked. Okay. We'll go 3 and then pass, and then you can react if you want. And then we will go 6. You will be marked. You will get 1 fealty. I will no longer be marked. There's not much I could do about that. Oh, you get 2 fealty. Wow. Yep, not much I could have done about that, huh? So you are marked. So let's just go ahead and start sending some damage. That's still gonna hit. I need 1 more card. That's fine by me. Kiss of Death. Scar Tissue. I get something I can play, or is it Arsenal worthy? I do have something I can play, but it's Arsenal worthy because you don't have something that I think it's worthwhile on. Lopavane Oath of Loyalty, that's fine. It's a very strong starter. I see why you would take that damage there. Yep, and 4 more damage. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, because you will get the fealty off of that. Long Whisker's Loyalty. And then you're not going to have an Arsenal this turn, which sucks. No blocks. And there it is. That is a turn, one of the craziest turns I think I've ever seen. Absolutely bonkers. Jeez Louise. Okay. Let's see what I can do in response. Up 6 a run. Apparently, Fang Gang Rise Up. I know. We're just going to go like this. We're going to do a dagger for 5. We're then going to do a Leave No Witnesses for 4. We're going to Arachne Redback to give it go again. In starting point to... Sorry, Arachne Redback to give it +3, right? Yep. Gonna hit. Banish. Fantastic. Codex of Fealty. Codex of Fealty. Frailty, not fealty. I've got apparently fealty tokens on my mind over here. Then we've got the same Leave No Witnesses a second time. So this is where 1 from armor 3 from hand. What card did you pick? I assume yeah, both of the Drakai. Flick a knife to assure the mark. Wait. There's no reason to do that because I am already transformed. Okay, so that worked. Oath of Loyalty for 3. We take the 3. Dagger for 1. 0. 4. And then that just comes in for 0. Okay, so my turn is going to be cut from the same cloth into dagger. So they got, yep. Okay, so they've got a lot. They've got a D-react. So that may actually change what I want to do here. Do I have a way to do both? Currently, no. I do have the way to just do one, and I think maybe that might be worth it. With a blue shred in Arsenal, I think this is definitely worth it. And then card from hand to full block. And then they, okay. And then they can, if they want, give me that D-react. I'm happy with it either way. They are going to give me the D-react. It's not the best turn. I could have, oh, wait. I missed my Flick Life trigger. This is the turn I should have done it. Arsenal that. 4. Go again. So this will put me down quite a lot. My turn is currently pick up the point, persuasive pardon, mark of the Black Widow, flick knife, tarantula toxin the mark. I think we go block 2. No, because I need that. So I think we block 3 here, take 1, and then take 1 from the second dagger swing. Oh, 3. Why is that 3? What does that do? Why did it get... Did he have a token I wasn't paying attention to? I guess so. Pick up the point. Flick a knife. Mark my opponent. Mark of the Black Widow. Wait, what the hell happened? Oh my god. Oh my god. I forgot how to play the game. Well, that's my loss. Yep. I didn't pay attention. That is true. We're just gonna assure this hits to get 3 points of damage in. And he's got a second one in hand. Okay. This would have been great. I could have hit him. Oh my god. I would have wrecked. Breaking your fealty, which is a good sign. So that's going to go up to 5. Oh my gosh. Reading the cards explains the cards, and I'm really bad at reading comprehension, everyone. Yeah, yeah, I know. This forces a block. That block could very easily be Grades of Blood Spill, and I don't want to lose that. Let's try and filter our hand. That would have been okay. Yep. Yep, okay. Not if he buffs it to 5, though. Yeah, there we go. Good game. Oh, that was awful. That was so bad on my part. Well, good job, Fabin. I'm a little rusty, I think. I think it's been a minute since I played Fab. But we're going to keep going. We're going to keep losing, apparently. Oh, I never reset this from last time. My bad. I was still counting from last stream. We are 1-2 currently. So sorry for the barrage of boos, but I think they are well deserved. Let's see if I can't recover and end this night with at least an even rating. Nah. I play so much better when drinking. Yeah. I think that's a fair thing to put the blame on, my friend. Not a lot of reactions, so we're gonna go take these out, and we're gonna put in the sink belows as well as. You know what? I still am not positive when I'm supposed to play the exposed, so I'm gonna try out exposed. And if I lose here, we're blaming it on the expose. This hand is really sad to see as my opening hand. Looks like this into E-Strike for 7. So block 6 on this, block 5 on the E-Strike, unless it's E-Strike draw a card, which in that case... Yep. Full block. There goes 4 of my daggers. 5 draw a card. Because that's never punished me before. What does Orthlore do? Tamper, when you draw a card from the effect of an action card, create a seismic surge. Okay, we'll resolve. Oh, yeah, that sucks. Oh God. Coming in for 6, huh? Can't play D-Reacts to this card. Current Arsenal is a really strong card that I don't want to lose. I would rather block 2, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Get... There's no one I would want right now. Block 6. This sucks. Oh, it's got Dominate active on hit. No, it's got active on hit. We'll block 6. And there's a pummel. Okay. Ouch. I see you. There goes most of my good cards in my deck. 5 go again? Yep, we'll accept the 5. I'll take the bill. Yeah. Another 5 go again? Into what I can only assume is Miller's Grindstone? Do I have an attack action in my graveyard at all? I do not. Will I have an attack action in my graveyard at all? I will not. Fine, you can have the Codex. Cool. Up 6 and run. Dagger you for 5. This hand is not good. This game has not been good. I think I have been getting the worst case scenario most of this. Okay. Okay. I could, in theory, prevent this from hitting. Or prevent the crush effect from happening. Right? No, my inertia trap is currently in my graveyard. It's the only trap I brought. Fuck it, we ball. Okay, so we got okay cards, I guess. This says the next time an attack would gain, so this would be 6. There we go. D-react, I assume? No, so we'll take 2 cards out of your hand. Then we'll come in for just 1 more. Oh lord, I wish this gave +2. So we'll just go, hey, you know what block 7? 4 prevents it on hit effect. And then we can also go, hey, I wish to sync the Codex of Inertia. Next, we will do Persuasive Prognosis for 1. And as we have learned, it is never just 1. So that will prevent the first time. So we'll go, and then I assume you will, nope, okay, so we'll banish the top card of your deck. And we only hit red cards because that is just my luck. Okay, and then we're going to come in for 1. What is going on in this game? Jeez Louise, this is hilarious. Let me guess. 7 into what I can only assume is 7. Where do I have that? I don't have that. I need a soundboard of, now that's a lot of damage. Take 1. You can keep your ley line out, and then into 8. I'm not going to be drawing cards. And I also really haven't seen anything I'm super excited about. But I do have to stay alive somehow. No! Screw it. We'll send out a Persuasive Prognosis. You'll have to block at least 1 damage, right? And we can get their full armor suite. We are happy. Oh yeah, I'm gonna, no, because the Ponder Pops, it doesn't trigger the draw a card. Never mind. About to say. 9. block 3, take 6. I don't have a good retort. Pick up the point. Kiss of Death into surgical extraction on hit. Like knives into surgical extraction regardless. Instant starting points. No need for that. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, I won! Okay, so pick up the point. Yeah, this has been a pretty. I would say this has been a pretty rough game, y'all. Not gonna lie. Yeah, I mean, I'm dead. I'm dead. No, there's no coming back from this. This has been what I deserved for my hubris going into this. Not gonna lie, this has been everything I deserve for this matchup. Okay, we're gonna hit. No, we're not. They're gonna use solid ground, which will cost them 2. Okay, so they will Arsenal. My turn is going to be Dagger. Into, I guess, Command and Conquer, huh? Jeez Louise. And that's game! I should have gone for the Arsenal. I should have gone for the hand. It probably didn't matter, but... Oh, look! 9 dominate, everyone. Good game. Wow, that sums up. That was neither fun nor balanced. And that wasn't even with the new Guardian stuff. That was just at my face. Which is something you can do. Oh my gosh, that was funny. I should have gone for the hand. Well, no, because actually it was the card. No, it wasn't hand. So if I had, well, who knows? What do we say? One more game? Why did everything disconnect for a second? No, I'm still here. Just, it looks like my Spotify is having issues. Burst, am I having any dropping of any latency or any issues on stream, or is it just me? But, okay, well, I'm going to assume that I am having technical issues, but I was going to cut it off there anyway. It is a Friday night. I am going to go relax, play some games, probably get some Hollow Knight in. Gotta get that so I can play some Silk Song. I will hopefully see all of you next time. I don't know when I'll be streaming next. Ideally, I'm going to try back getting into the 3 days a week streaming cycle. I also have to spend a lot of time editing the video. As I said last time, I'm very happy. I found a great guy who helped me out with a very big problem I was having with the next video. It was not a technical issue. It was an issue that I really didn't like the way my voice was coming off. And it's not that they helped me by doing any recordings. He just helped me by showing me some really cool tricks in Audacity. So expect that coming out ideally on Monday. It really depends on how much time I actually plan to play Hollow Knight versus how much time I actually plan to edit. And that is my current issue right now. And then, of course, I've got 2 armories this weekend. But if I can do things and I can get things done, time is just not on my time. You know, I just don't have enough time. But we'll see. I'll see what I can do. And I hope y'all are looking forward to it. I enjoyed playing the game. And I will see you all next time, have a great evening.